first website that I've gone to is springbot.co.za, which has taken me to this very geeky looking site called apps.springbot.co.za. And this gives us all the options in terms of what we can do with our Springbot. So what I'm going to do is, for this particular recording, I'm going to be going to the MicroBlocks Springbot. And what I could do is that I could install it. So I could install it on the Springbot itself if I hadn't done that already. And if I go to the More button here, what it does is it takes me to this site. It shows where we can use MicroBlocks with the Springbot. So we can use it on the browser, Mac OS, Windows, iPad, Android, Raspberry Pi, and other, which includes Chromebook, etc. And so what one can do is one can go, if one wants to use the browser, for example, just go to this microblocks.fun website, and then you'll be able to start coding. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you today this website here that we call examples. So then you'll see here that there's plenty of examples. What we're doing is we're making sure that every few days we add another example. And so I'm going to show you this one here, this OLED display temperature. Okay, so in the picture, we can see here that I've got a Springbot green and I've added the OLED screen. And what it's doing is it's displaying the temperature, the actual temperature reading itself in terms of data, and then it says C for degrees centigrade. And so here I have the MicroBlocks code that has already been developed. So what you can do is you can click here and download it, or simply you could drag and drop it into your MicroBlocks. There's a little YouTube video here that shows you how to do it. It takes you through that. And then this little description here, adding the OLED to the Springbot green. So what it is that when you add the OLED to the Springbot green, there's a particular sequence that you need to go through. And so in developing the code, what I've done is that I've actually written here in the comments what you do. So when connecting the OLED to the Springbot green, add the OLED graphics library first. Follow the sequence, add library, graphics and displays, OLED graphics. So now you'll have the correct libraries to use. And then it just explains what I've done here with the code. So here you have the code. So what you can do is, if we go back to that example, this is simply a picture of the code. So if you right click, you can either display it on the browser, or otherwise you can save the image. Maybe you want to print it out for your learners, or you want to make a poster, something like that. Then what I can do is that I can go to, and I'm going to have in the recording, I'm going to put the link at the bottom. And what we've done is we've developed the first GPT assistant, is where we say, I've got an example of MicroBlocks. So I've got the file with the code itself. And what I want to do is that I want to find out what does it do and where does it link in the curriculum. So what experiments can I run if I simply upload the code without having to develop it myself? So what I've done is, to this AI assistant, I simply dragged and dropped this this code in. And what it's done here is it worked for 3 minutes, 20 seconds. So it's not instant. It does have to think. And what it's done is it's come out and it said, when the project started, it initializes the Springbot's OLED display and then runs continuously, etc. It reads the temperature and it outputs that to the OLED screen. So here it's just giving it to you in like non-code language, what it's doing. And then secondly, the reason why it took many minutes to actually come up with the result is that in the background, what we've done is we trained it on the entire CAPS curriculum, as well as every topic And we've got a huge database behind that with the page, everything where all of that appears. So what it's done is it's gone and it's found experiments that can be conducted that link to the curriculum for grade 6, grade 4, grade 5, grade 7, grade 9. Okay, so let's have a look at this. It says here for grade 9, environmental temperature monitoring. So we can ask the research question, how does air temperature differ between sheltered indoor and outdoor locations when the Springbot readings are taken at the same observation times? And that links to coding and robotics senior phase, CAPS, grade 9, term 2, environmental monitoring and weather report in robots, document page 139, PDF page 140. So what can happen is that if you've picked one of these and you say, what I want to do is I want you now to develop that full experiment for me. You want me to develop a lesson plan, a learner worksheet, etc. It gives you the link to the next AI assistant. So what I've done, and that also takes a number of minutes to do. So what I had done is that I'd actually just taken one of these grade 7 examples over here. And what I'd done is I'd loaded it, I clicked on that link and I'd actually loaded it in, and this is what it's given me. So let me just, let's just go to the top over here. And so I asked it for, please develop an experiment using the air temperature sensor for grade 7. The data will be displayed on the OLED screen. So what it did is it worked for 2 minutes, and now it's given us an experiment for grade 7. Can insulation keep a model room warmer? And where does it fit to the curriculum? Natural sciences, grade 7, term 3, knowledge strand, energy and change, CAPS topics, heat transfer, insulation and energy saving, curriculum reference, CAPS, natural sciences, grade 7 to 9, etc., pages, etc. And so then what it does is it goes to what is the question we're asking, what data do we need, the experiment procedure, everything like that. And then you'll see it takes us through everything, but importantly, what it does is it gives us 2 documents that we can download. The first is a teacher guide, and the second is a learner worksheet. So what you can do is you can actually download those files. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you that example. So this is the learner worksheet in an editable format, just like plain text document. So now what I can do is I can go in there and I can actually change this exactly to suit my requirements. I could do exactly the same with the teacher guide. And yeah, so here we have it. So what you can do is you can actually plan if you have particular topics that you want to cover by doing a practical experiment. Then what you can do is by using the examples page, by using the curriculum guide and matcher, then you can actually get it to really help you to build those lessons and build those experiments for you.